Hey, good morning to you. Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. Happy Sunday to every single one of you. Remember, I do put the links in the description to help save you time, help you navigate a little easier through the video. And if you've never been here before, hello. My name is Mark. I do upload every single day, just not Friday from sundown until sundown Saturday. That's Sabbath. But we'll make sure you're covered. Matter of fact, I'm showing the same information that I posted on Friday. This is still going to be somewhat a tropical storm that's going to hit Texas and some wind gusts that's going to carry all the way to Louisiana with heavy rainfall amounts. That's the main threat, is the wind gusts and the rainfall amounts. But make sure you hit that subscribe button because I am all year along. All I do ask is if you know somebody that's in these impacts, please share this video on social media. Help people be alert to what's going on and what they can expect. If you don't use social media, just hit the like button. YouTube would suggest it for you. Thank you so much for helping out. And you know how I do, guys. I wanted to wait for the 8 o'clock update so we can get the newest runs and see what's going on. Now, what you're looking at here is the convection on Invest 94L. And you can see it's starting to get a lot of convection, especially on the east and the north side of this storm. But it's about to meet up with some shear, and it is going to start weakening down just like the Euro was showing. But still, it will be some tropical storm conditions for Texas. You also see here on the cloud tops that it is breathing very well way up in the atmosphere where you see all the convection happening. So this is going to be somewhat on a strengthening, but it is getting some shear from the west to the east on the west side of this storm, and that will strengthen as it gets towards Texas. But let me get through everything I have for you guys so you can see all the information. I am showing no matter what, these rain bands will come off this storm and it will be hitting Louisiana as well. So there is some rainfall amounts. That is the biggest worry of this storm. There is going to be some tropical storm conditions once again, but the rain is going to be one of the biggest stories. Now, as of the 8 o'clock update, Invest 94L is at 90%, has been at 90%. Matter of fact, I'm showing that the winds are right around 34 miles per hour, so it's pretty much a tropical depression. It just needs a closed low. Plus, we have Disturbance 5 that's right over here off the southeast coast, and so far I'm showing no threat. If anything, it will bring some rainfall towards North Carolina, maybe some slight winds or wind gusts, but I'm not showing a big threat. I'm showing that the next cold front will protect the Northeast from this going any further north. I have seen some of the videos that was posted yesterday, and I am sorry for some of the things people say, guys. I'm showing it's not really a big worry right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to get to y'all comments from the video yesterday after this video. I like to catch up and talk to my community. If you've never been here before, I love talking to my community. Such great people. God bless you all. Plus, we have the disturbance in the northeast of the Atlantic, and this is predicted to go towards Portugal. So far, disturbance 2 has gone all the way down to 20% chance in 48 hours and 5 days. I'm showing disturbance 2 will curve to the north in the Atlantic. It's not going to be the issue. The issue we always had to worry about was this one right here, disturbance 4, that's finally showing up, coming off the coast of Africa. This is the one that I'm showing can make it in our Caribbean. And to keep you updated what's going on with NOAA and Climate Prediction Center, they're still predicting a tropical cyclone formation from the September 11th to September 14th right here in the western side of the Gulf of Mexico, also the one coming off the coast of Africa. And from September 15th through September 21st is when they're expecting development of a tropical cyclone of a tropical depression or greater strength right here, southeast coast of the U.S., and the next wave that's coming off now off the coast of Africa. Now, if you remember the MDR update that I did do about a week ago to let you know that everything coming off the coast of Africa will not wind up to a major hurricane as it passes through the MDR because we are getting some sinking air and not rising air. Matter of fact, this was from NOAA, September 6th, that tropical cyclones, there are some signals for an active period in the western Pacific and relatively quiet period for the Atlantic during the next 2 weeks. And we still got another week of that. As a matter of fact, if you look at the MJO, the Madden-Julian Oscillation, which lets us know when we have rising air or sinking air passing through our area. And our area is always, 1 is the MDR and coming off the coast of Africa. It's like it's going backwards. 8 is the East Coast and Central U.S. 7 is the West Coast. So our states are right here, Caribbean and MDR right here. And everything is going towards 3 and 4, according to the GFS, also for the Euro as well. So we're still dealing with some sinking air on Western MDR, Eastern Caribbean. So nothing can form in that point. We can get something off the coast of Africa, but it won't strengthen up to a major hurricane maybe a hurricane on the low end as it passes through that area, but it won't be a major hurricane. Everything will be forming close to home. And if you look at the wave according to the sinking air and the rising air, you can see all the way from September all the way through late September that we are going to have this sinking air in our MDR, and that's going to stop anything from ramping up immediately. That won't mean we won't get anything. It just means there won't be no major hurricanes coming off the coast of Africa. It's going to take a little while to build, and they got to build close, and that's the only way. However, hurricane season is not over by far. I know people saying, oh, peak of hurricane season. If you remember, I showed you that the peak was going to be weak. But our hurricane season is going to stay all the way into October for sure. Because we are showing that the rising air is starting to come in around October. And I'm also showing that we have some potential velocity anomalies around that time. Even a big one coming in late October still. Now, when we look at our potential velocity anomaly, it tells us when we have some updraft in our area. We do have our low system we have now in the Gulf of Mexico all the way to the 13th and the 14th, and you can see how weak that looks. Also, what's going on in our section, we have another weak one coming around the 20th, and that's about it until we get towards October. Now, when you look according to the Euro, it confirms that this is somewhat weak, a little bit more strength, but it confirms that it's weak that we're dealing with now. When we get towards the 20th of October, Euro shows that this will be a little bit stronger than the GFS is showing. And not only that, it's still showing every few days we're still going to be getting one in our Western Caribbean, our Gulf of Mexico, or even the east coast of our U.S. Because that's what section this is right here. As well as some coming off the MDR around the beginning of October. So everything is going to be suppressed for this period right here with sinking air. But then we're going to be getting rising air coming the end of September, beginning of October. And that's when everything's going to be real active for us. The automatic guidance for Invest 94L does show that literally in 48 hours, it will be either off the coast of Texas or it will be lingering around towards Houston. So in 48 hours, it's going to be right here. And right now, I'm still showing tropical storm conditions, guys, which is bad enough, but I'm not showing any hurricane conditions. And then in 4 days, it'll be moving somewhere towards Louisiana, and it's really going to die off really fast. And GFS is showing the same track. As a matter of fact, this is the track that the Euro is taking, and that's the difference between the Euro and the GFS. GFS shows that it could strengthen up and actually turn even more. If it gets stronger, it would turn even more than what it's doing now and not even be much of a threat for Texas. But if it stays weak, it's just going to shove right on land, just like the Euro is showing, but all the rain is going to be east side loaded. So if the Euro is correct, it's going to be a lot more rain for Texas. If the GFS is correct, when it hits towards Texas, it's going to be all east side loaded for Louisiana. However, the steering factors are still the same. You can see this big high pressure reaching all the way out over Louisiana, steering all this precipitation, all these storms towards Texas. And it stays out pretty good all the way until it gets close to Texas, but it shows that it starts retracting back according to the GFS, and that gives it a little bit more room to turn and make its way to the east-northeast, and it retracts way back. Euro isn't showing it as much of a retraction. And if this actually would strengthen up right when this starts retracting back, it could actually turn even more and be a little bit more closer towards Louisiana, and that'd be more effects for Louisiana and Mississippi. And here's the difference. The Euro shows a high pressure as well, directing all this traffic, all these thunderstorms towards Texas, but instead of retracting back, the Euro stays strong high ridge on this high pressure and keeps it going into Texas, and the ridge stays the whole time the storm is on land. It don't retract back until afterwards, then it starts going a little eastward, but it's already weak by the shear, I'll show you that, and it starts dying off. So the Euro shows that the high pressure ridge sticks around. GFS shows it retracts back, that's why it goes towards Louisiana and curves. Now the new updated run, that's why I waited, shows that it's in agreement with Euro. It does get weakened down, but then it strengthens a little bit right back to a tropical storm, curves by, go towards Louisiana, and still dies off. But however, you can see it does bring precipitation more to Louisiana, also some for Mississippi as it weakens down. But still, it brings it down to a tropical storm. The Euro confirms this as well. It shows it a little more to the west with the upper level low with the I formation, which is a big difference. If it's a little more to the west, just like the Euro is showing, it will stay weak and it will go on land and just go on to Texas, and all the rain will be east side loaded. If it stays a little bit off of Mexico, then it still has a chance to strengthen up over waters and carry it a little bit further and be a stronger storm. However, Euro isn't showing that right now because it's showing that high pressure, stays a strong high ridge, and it keeps us in Texas. Stays somewhat weak and dies off very quickly, according to the Euro. And you can see why it does this when you look at the streamline winds. You can see that the winds start pushing from the south to the north, directing this storm in there. But you can see also it gets some very fast winds going from southwest over to the northeast. And that's going to create not only a steering value for the storm, you can see how it starts steering it from the west to the east, but then it also will take it and it will start weakening it down because of the shear. And this is the first run from first this morning. You can see how it just directs it straight towards Louisiana and weakens it down. Now you can see on the updated run that it starts getting a closed low, but still you have these very strong streamline winds from the southwest to the northeast, and that's going to be directing that a little more towards the north and the northeast. At the same time, you can see how the streamline winds change. They come straight from the west to the east, and that keeps that storm weak and in check. As a matter of fact, it weakens down slowly down to a 996, and then when it gets towards Louisiana, then it starts weakening down greatly. These steering winds is going to bring a lot of shear on this storm. And with the updated run, you can see how close it gets towards Texas, but then that shear gets so strong, right when it starts strengthening up to 994, it gets hit hard with some westerly winds, and that knocks it all the way down to very small values, keeps everything right along the coast, and then when it gets close towards Louisiana, the shear gets even stronger, and it dies off very quickly. And here's the updated run. You can see the storm starting to gather itself, but now you can see it's starting to get some shear from those streamlined winds, bringing that wind shear to it, and some dry air. So you're pushing all the storms and all the moisture is getting east side loaded and getting off of the core. And at the same time, it won't be able to strengthen because the dry air is getting into the exposed low-level winds, and it's not able to wrap around the thunderstorms no more. Now it's getting dry air in it, and it's keeping it very mild. However, it is pushing the storms to the east, and it will be east side loaded with all the rainfall. So there will be some heavy rainfall for eastern Texas, Louisiana, even portions of Mississippi, but the winds and the wind gusts will first be towards Texas. But it stays in there, the thunderstorms never get back around, and it just kills the storm. And this is your 10-meter wind, so right around Tuesday, around 7 a.m., it's a 998, and it's a tropical storm, but none of that is on land. It still has 42 miles per hour winds. That would make it a tropical storm. But everybody else is getting about high 20s to 30 miles per hour winds as the storm passes by the whole time. Houston, you might get 20 miles per hour sustained winds as this comes by. The biggest threat is going to be rainfall and wind gusts. And so far I'm showing Galveston does get most of the wind gusts, 30s to 40s. Mostly around Tuesday at 10 a.m. That seems to be one of the magic hours as this passes by. It's Tuesday morning through Tuesday around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But everybody stays pretty mild on these wind gusts, guys. We're talking 20 to 30 miles per hour winds, and the wind gusts will be powerful as well, but the wind gusts also will be over the Gulf of Mexico. It won't be over land for the most part, except for Galveston. I'll show you that. Then when it gets towards Louisiana, 20 miles per hour winds, maybe 30 tops, mostly by intracoastal city. But it's very weak winds with this storm, especially after all that shear, all that dry air getting into the core. There's nothing left to it. And you can see you're getting mostly 20 and 30 miles per hour wind gusts by 5 p.m. on Monday. Corpus Christi isn't really getting much. But as you go into Monday into Tuesday, that's when it starts getting a little bit more powerful. By 10 p.m., you start getting a little bit higher to 30 miles per hour wind gusts. Then once you get into 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning for Tuesday, then the 40 miles per hour wind gusts is going to move in, mostly for Bay City, Lake Jackson, Galveston. The whole time, Houston isn't seeing all that. And then by 10 a.m., it's going to pick up towards possible 50 miles per hour wind gusts for Lake Jackson and Galveston as the storm passes by. And this is the strongest it's going to be for y'all. And then when you get into the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, a low pocket of 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts does go towards Houston, but so far it misses Houston. So far, Houston, you're seeing 30 miles per hour wind gusts the whole time as this passes by, 40 and 50 on the edge. And then it weakens down as it goes towards southeast Texas, southwest Louisiana, you're getting 30 and 40 miles per hour wind gusts like I just showed. But it does show that it does weaken down greatly. By the time you get to 9 p.m. on Tuesday, now you're getting a 40 miles per hour wind gust good for southwest Louisiana. And it does pick up to almost 50 by Opelousas by 1 a.m. on Wednesday. But that all dies off very quickly because of that wind shear. Now, so far within a 5-day period, GFS does show it's more for Louisiana than the Euro because it shows that it stays over water a little bit longer and strengthens up right before it gets near Corpus Christi and starts getting on land and affecting Houston, Galveston, Beaumont. And then it carries over, and all the precipitation is east side loaded. All the shear is pushing the storms to the east, and you get a lot more rainfall for Louisiana. The Euro takes it to where it just comes on land right below Corpus Christi, and it just pretty much crashes and weakens down. However, being east side loaded with the rain, Texas would see more of the rainfall according to the Euro. So if it strengthens up, it's going to be for more rainfall for Louisiana. If it comes on weak, it's going to be this right here for Texas. And if it strengthens up even more, it will curve even more. And Louisiana will probably get less, and it'll be more for southeast Louisiana and Mississippi. So I will update you on that. It all depends if this system strengthens. It all depends if this system strengthens to a stronger system once again. And it all depends if that high ridge, according to the Euro, stays there and keeps this in Texas. So it starts off going to Matamoros, Mexico around 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, bringing 20 and 30 miles per hour wind gusts. But then it heads towards Corpus Christi and starts bringing some winds around 8 p.m. for tomorrow. You start getting 40 miles per hour wind gusts, even chances for 50 in there with that dark purple. Then as it passes by you and goes towards Victoria, by 5 a.m. on Tuesday, it starts bringing this 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts across Texas. And it does get pretty good towards Houston. It stays around 40 miles per hour winds. They do have some 50s, but they never quite make it into the city. They stay around the outer edge. Lake Jackson and Galveston, I am showing you, do get the worst of the winds all the way until Wednesday in the early morning. Then it starts quieting down around noontime for Wednesday for Houston. It gets down to 30 miles per hour wind gusts as this moves to the southeast. The GFS does show that we have a cold front coming around the 20th. You can see that on the east coast of U.S. as that disturbance goes north. It gets hit with that cold front, and then the real cold front comes in and whops it back. So I don't see any formation. Maybe some rain can come out of that for the New England states, just a little bit. But I'm showing this cold front is really going to attack that storm. And even the Euro is showing that around the 19th that we will have another cold front coming down, and that's what's going to block the northeast from the storm. When you look at the Euro, you can also see that as this storm comes up to the east coast, the cold front comes down. It might get a little precipitation, but the cold front knocks it back and stops the storm from doing anything. But as of right now, Invest 94L is 34 miles per hour, moving northwest at 7 miles per hour. And so far, that's the update, guys. Thank you so much for visiting my channel today. I will do another tropical update this afternoon, another quick in and out, just to update you on the information that I'm showing. So far, I'm showing that it will be weakened down from that shear. It might come in hot a little bit, but it'll be weakened down greatly. So far, it's 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts and a lot of rain. At the same time, God bless every single one of you. I hope you have a very blessed Sunday out there. I want to share a little bit of a word of our Father today. Amen. Isaiah 4. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof, by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion, and upon her assemblies, a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night, For upon all the glory shall be a defense. And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert from storm and from rain. Amen. Have a great day today, guys. I do see this weakening down. I don't see much of a threat in these tropics with everything going on. I know people's saying it's blowing up and it's doing a lot of things. I'm seeing a lot of nothing. I see a lot of weak systems. This is the strongest we got so far is this with the 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts with a lot of rain. That's all I see so far out of this. That's all I see coming out of this. Matter of fact, if it strengthens up anymore, it'll turn sharper and it'll be even less. Have a great day today, guys. If I did help you, please share this video on social media. Help alert others to what the impacts are coming. Let them know that there is a weakening on this system. At the same time, let them be alerted to the rainfall, because that is going to be a big thing as well. I'm sure that will bring some power outages. 40, 50 miles per hour wind gusts with heavy rains will do that. So make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share it to others. So God bless you all. May you all stay safe, you and your families. All glory does go to Yahweh, God of Jacob, the Almighty. Protect you and love you forever and ever. Amen. Hallelujah, guys. Have a very great day. I'll see you this afternoon for the update.